12 come up and talk to our community. We have Senator Brickwood Galateria, Mr. Carlton Middleton, and Mr. Chris Leppard. Letha, my apologies, sir. So let's do alphabetical order again. Senator? Yes.
Yeah.
2-minute opening statement.
Okay, very good.
Aloha.
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 Thank you to the neighborhood board for inviting us here to talk Star with you and perhaps answer some of your questions and certainly provide you with a little bit of insight on what we have done and what we hope to do after the next decision is made. I'm Senator Brickwood Galateria, representing Senate District 12, which extends from Waikiki through Makali, Mo'ilili, Makiki, Kaka'ako, and Halamoana. I'm the majority leader in the state Senate. There is the concept of teamwork. The majority leader provides that type of leadership because no man or no woman is an island. In order to provide good leadership and good legislation, everyone has to work together. I'm very, very pleased and proud to be able to say that we advanced legislation, very significant legislation, under my term as majority leader. One of the big movements was to increase the minimum wage this past year. We talk about labor, we talk about working, improving the quality of life, sustaining and ensuring quality of life. Many other things that were done, SB1 as an example, equality of marriage, HCDA in Kaka'ako. We provided for new requirements for the advancement of development in Kaka'ako, pulled the reins a little tighter for HCDA. I want to continue doing that in the legislature, and I ask for your support. I ask for your, not only for your support, but your mana'o as well. I am a family man, I have a family of 5, I have 8 grandkids, and I want to ensure their quality of life for the coming years. So with that, I ask you for your support and look forward to answering your questions. Mahalo.
Thank you, Senator. Now, Mr. Chris Leppard. My pleasure.
I was going to use my notes, but I'm going to try and wing it. I'm not much of a public speaker, but I'm going to try and do my best here. I got involved in politics 11 years ago. I'm somebody who spent 2 years getting his children out of a foreign country, bringing them back to the United States. I encountered a very anti-father family court system. And I came down to the legislature and I made a little speech and I got a standing ovation. The next day I got a call from Senator Chun Oakland and Carol Fukunaga asking me to join the legislative task force. So you have them, I have them to thank for me getting involved in Hawaii politics. So I've spent the last 11 years working to reform the family court to make it a place where it respected the role of both parents in their children's lives. And since then I've got involved. I worked as an office manager for one of the representatives, and I also volunteered for Cindy Evans, who's another representative in the House of Representatives, working on various types of legislation. So I've had a chance to work on the inside of the legislature. And the thing is, as a father, I have a vision for the life that I want for my children in Hawaii. And I want my children to be able to come back to Hawaii. So many of us raise our children for export today. How many of you have got children that you raise and they have to choose between a good paying job on the mainland or not such a good paying job here in Hawaii? If they wanted to come home, they've got to make that sacrifice. And that's not right. That's not the Hawaii that I dream of for my children. I want it to be a place that they can come back home to and have a great paying job and have a great life. That's my dream for Hawaii. You know, we have a lot of elderly people today and they need a lot of help. You know, one of the issues for us is letting these people age in place. You know, they need services. They need a variety of services. And you know, today they're stuck with an option of, gee, I can take out a reverse mortgage and I can stay in place. But that means everything that they work for, they have nothing to pass on to their children.
Mr. Leppard, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Carlton Middleton, your opening statement.
Yes, aloha everyone.
Aloha.
I strongly believe that this election is going to turn on one important factor in our community, and that is the homeless. I'm not blaming them, not blaming anybody. If I did, I'd be here all night. But the system is badly broken. The system is badly, badly broken. And I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. If I get elected, I will fix it. I'm not gonna blame the homeless, but if it all turns on the homeless, they will destroy this island. I can guarantee it. Waikiki is suffering right now, and every time I go to a neighborhood board meeting, it's the same old thing for 6, 8 years. It's been the same thing. And it's going to get worse. They can't fix it, but I will.
Thank you, Mr. Middleton. Now questions from our community. Come up to the mic, please.
I haven't heard anything tonight about the prison system in Hawaii. I read about it quite frequently. I hear about it on TV, and it seems to be festering. It looks like it needs massive investigation. There's almost too many problems to even mention, but it seems like it's become a collection place for homeless, mentally ill, just people who don't really belong in prison. And some people suggest it's become an industry, and it's untouchable. I'd like to know what you think about that.
Mr. Leatham?
Oh. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. There's a lot of private prison systems today that are corporations that operate prisons. One of the interesting things is these prison systems are now going before legislators testifying to extend the duration of prison terms. Did you know that? Because it makes them more money. The longer somebody's incarcerated, the more money they make. So that's definitely a problem that needs to be addressed. There's also, of course, the issue of putting homeless people. We know we used to have a place for putting people that were schizophrenic. We had nice facilities that we could put in mental institutions where we could take care of them, and they were advocates, and there was a process. Today we're putting these same people into prisons because we've got nowhere else to put them. Again, we've got a low cost, or what we call affordable housing problem, where it's all gummed up because you've got nobody coming out of it, even though people are doing very well financially and they have nice cars and they've been able to put money in the bank. These people are not moving out of the system, so there's no room for anybody else. Thank you.
Thank you for your response. Senator Galataria?
Thank you for that question. I agree that the public safety situation is very challenging. I sit on the Public Safety Committee in the State Senate, and we've taken a look at different models to improve the system. One of the things we would really like to look at is, I wouldn't want to say decriminalizing the system, but there are many people incarcerated right now who really shouldn't be there. They have a low impact criminal records, and perhaps we should get them into much more constructive type of programs instead of just letting them sit there. And so that's one of the things that we're trying to do with the public safety system. We're opening up Kulani Prison again up on the Big Island, and we're trying to bring back more of our prisoners that we've sent away. It comes down to money per capita, per person. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to reinstill a sense of pride in the system, because there are a lot of, shall we say, abuses going on.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Middleton?
Good question. I like the question. You do know that it's costing about $500 per day per person for inmates to be in prison. A good bit of them are homeless. They've got serious mental problems. They've got serious problems, but they're not legal problems. It's costing us $500 a day. Why does it cost less to put them in prison than it does to get them housing? Or does it? I'm wondering if it does. That's for the taxpayers to decide. And you will decide.
Thank you, Mr. Middleton. Next question.
I'm a guest. I've come a few blocks from Kaka'ako. I do want to ask Senator Brickwood Galateria why you're not supporting taking the reserve housing and workforce housing that's being built in Kaka'ako and making it affordable. Those developers, 80% of the units they build, they can charge any amount of money they want. So why isn't the 20% that they have to provide for ordinary people priced so that ordinary people can buy it instead of 140% of the income, which is 124,000 in a community where 87% of the population makes less than 100,000.
Senator?
What Representative Fox is referring to is statute that provides for 20% in inventory to be affordable housing in all of the developments in Kaka'ako. The legislature, what we tried to do was to increase the inventory percentage, but what we want to end up doing, what we've done, is we ensure that there is balanced housing inventory in Kaka'ako. That has always been my position from the very time I took office back in 2008. It's not necessarily to get rid of luxury apartments as much as it is to increase the inventory so we have a balanced look, a balanced mix of community. Not only luxury, obviously affordable. Affordable rentals, workforce housing, kupuna housing, very, very important. The tsunami, the silver tsunami is among us right now. And so that's what I'm all about. I'm all about balanced housing in Kaka'ako.
Thank you, Senator. Mr. Middleton?
Good question about Kaka'ako, but I'm not sure what we're discussing. It's a done deal. It's over. There's going to be million-dollar properties, multi-million-dollar properties in Kaka'ako. That's not a place that is available to anyone that doesn't have millions of dollars. So it's already a done deal. They just won't tell you, but I will.
Thank you, Mr. Middleton. Mr. Latham?
I guess the first question I have to ask is, how do these luxury condos solve our homeless problem? And are we really building units that are affordable to the common people who live and work here? And I don't think we are. I don't think we're building the kind of places that we envision to be for us. We built luxury condos that are going to be sold to people either on the West Coast, from the Bay Area, or from Asia, because those are the only people that have the money and the resources to buy these properties. So what does that mean? Are those people going to live here? Probably not. Does that mean that we're going to have an economy? Probably not. That's not going to stimulate it. It's going to generate more tax revenue. If that's the real intent of this, to generate more money for the state and the city and the county, that's great. But it leaves us vacuous when it comes to new jobs and new opportunities, and that's what we really need here. We need the kind of development that suits our needs and the kind of commercial development that will bring good paying jobs back to Hawaii. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Latham. We'll go ahead and proceed to our closing statements, just because we're short on time, so let's go back the other way. Mr. Middleton, 1 minute.
Thank you all for coming, and I'm so sorry that we're short on time. We're going to be leaving out of here shortly. There's a lot at stake in this election, but the voters have the last word. I don't think the powers that be have figured out a way to overturn what the people say. And whatever you say, we're going to have to live with. Do you want a place where the homeless will have a home? Or do you want a place, and we go through this same thing every election cycle, they're on the streets, they're on the streets, they're on the streets,